Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to SimTrack's broadcast. This is Patrick Morrison coming to you live here from Watkins Glen. We bring you the National Oval Racing Association to a road course as we kind of have our eyes set on the 24 Chevrolet of Vincent Arthur out there. Going ahead and entering the bus stop now. As you can see, he's practiced plenty here, sliding through the turns and into the turn as well. We're waiting to see how some of the qualifying times are going to go. A couple of them haven't nailed down any times yet, but a little switch up tonight. Stella will actually be out in Europe joining up with some friends out there for vacation. That means that's going to put Chris Snyder in the booth with me here tonight. Chris, how are you feeling tonight, man? And tell me a little bit about this track.
It's good to be back in the booth for NORA. It's been a while. These guys always put on a great show, and this track usually puts on a great show. There's usually about 6 to 7 guys that you kind of look at and think they might be able to win here. Ryan Bird, Vincent Arthur, those are two of your kind of favorites. They have the most road course wins in NORA, so going to be interesting to watch how they battle. Over the years, they've battled pretty well here, especially at road courses.
All right, well, a few other drivers to keep in mind as well as Jacob Malone and Josh Conover, a couple of rookies out there. Currently sitting second and third out there on the track. They still have a little bit more time that they can qualify out there. But it looked like the Bucky's machine is not looking to slow down after his win last week, which was huge for him. He automatically slides him into the next spot on the roster here coming into the playoffs. Boy, it's going to be tight. A few guys are still hanging on the outside below the cutoff line now that there is a full-on race schedule here and how it's going to end up coming out for the playoffs. My biggest concern here is the ones that are still teetering, trying to make it in. That is going to be huge here tonight, whether they are or not going to be able to hold this line here tonight and actually become better or increase their position out there on the track without it making worse. So one of the drivers out there, I do want to point out, not picking on the guy, but a driver like Jake Christenberry. Right now, this guy is hanging below the line, and he desperately needs a good finish here tonight as he's going to be teetering right on the edge.
Yeah, we got a 3-way tie for the cutoff right now, and I believe 6th on down, all within 1 digit of that cut line. So if you're in the top 5, you're feeling kind of comfortable. You got those double-digit numbers ahead of the cut line, but everyone's 6th on back. If they have one mistake here tonight, they could be on the outside looking in instead of Jake Christenberry.
Yeah, a lot of guys are going to be very nervous here tonight. Jake Christenberry trying to hang in there. A driver I want to see kind of show up tonight and be a force to be reckoned with would be Aaron Kralik out there. I noticed him out there in the 01 right now, currently sitting in 10th, very close to passing Christenberry to get a higher qualifying spot. But let's see how it goes. Out there in the tower for you guys, you're going to notice everybody in green is in the playoffs, yellow is out of the playoffs, blue is a win and already on. So the only driver to do that so far is Jacob Malone. And guys in red are the ones teetering on the edge. It's going to be oh so close, as I've got over 20 drivers out there on the track. Right now we're still waiting for a few more to get out there. Matthew George being one of them, Tom Senchak being another, trying to nail down a time, and Cody Reeder. Those are just some of the big names out there. We're waiting to see if he can get out there and start knocking down the times here at the Glen. But, Chris, we look back here at this track, and I would probably say of all road courses, this one is this one's more my favorite out there. It's more friendlier to the car. Guys know the turns more, but a lot of guys so far have really been pitching their hat into the ring saying Coda is the more favorited one out there. I mean, what's your take on it?
I'm not very good at turning right at all, but I would say Watkins Glen and Road America are my 2 favorites, and it's a shame that Road America doesn't really get raced in the Cup Series. It would put on a pretty good show, in my opinion. But to bounce off of what you said about Kralik, he's got to come back from a rough week last week. Hopefully his internet's a little bit better, because he was blipping all over the place last week throughout the race, and even left the session there for a while and had to come back in. So hopefully he has that all sorted out this week.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain the driver ended up 14 laps down. As we still continue to sit through qualifying, only about another 3 minutes left. Continuing to pick up the pace is Jacob Malone out there with a 1:11.48. That is blistering time. Ryan Bird only misses that 1:11.51 out there. So about 20 thousandths of a second he needs to make up to catch up to Malone there, but regardless, he's still just going to be starting to his outside. But when you get to a track here like Watkins Glen and guys getting ready to have a good qualifying position, you wouldn't think that turn 1 would be the hardest turn to figure out how to get past. And a lot of guys end up mashing each other up right off the bat, less than 10 seconds into the race, getting into turn 1 and then getting through the S turns. I mean, there are just so many different turns on this track that change up the different angles that these guys turn, the different degrees of banking that these guys have to battle, and how they're going to figure out where they can pass somebody. We may see little clutches of cars, about 3-4 cars at a time, getting around the carousel or being in the bus stop, but you have to pick and choose when you're going to make that pass. And a lot of guys, that pass is either through the bus stop or in turn number 1. And I would say, it's kind of dangerous to actually pass through the carousel. And Christian, I don't know. When we take a look out here, is whoop, right there, a little bit of Aaron Kralik off the racetrack there. And that's exactly what you're going to see out of turn number 1. This is where guys get caught up. Ooh, somebody's about to bite the wall. Wow.
Yeah, and that counts as an off track for iRacing. So if they do that during qualifying here, their lap is invalid. So they really got to be careful going out there early in qualifying. But turn 1, that's going to be the most likely place that if we have any cautions tonight, that's where we're going to see it. We will have 2 cautions for the stages at 12 and 24. But if there's any for a wreck, I would guess turn 1 or through the S's if someone tries going too wide. That's the most likely places we might see a caution tonight.
All right. Is brake fade that big of an issue here at Watkins Glen?
I wouldn't say it is. I know it's important to have your brakes set correctly going into this. Too much front brake, you're going to lock it up. Too much rear brake, you're going to wheel hop. So you really got to focus on getting the right numbers and getting the right balance in your car. But I don't think brake fade is going to be too much of a problem for these guys here tonight.
Okay, well, as the tires continue to wear in, we have a few sets of tires out there for tonight as these guys are just getting ready to clean up here. About another 20 seconds left in qualifying, and then we'll be starting to our starting grid. So very excited to get Watkins Glen kicked off here for race number 2 in the opening round here of the playoffs. Looks like Nathan Brzezowski is going to do a great job and get his Ford, the only other Ford in the top 10. He's going to be starting in 8th, and we'll take a look at him here in just a moment. But first, I do want to take a moment and take a look at what we've got lined up for you guys here tonight and how this race is going to finish off. And let's take a look at the information here. A nice, easy way to do it. 54 lap stages will be at 12 and 24. Tires, we'll talk a little bit about that here in a little bit. As a 60% fuel limit, 3 sets of tires down there. This, of course, being a fixed setup league, and obviously no fast repairs. I'll be your lead producer tonight. Commentator will be Christian Snyder, and race control in the wonderful Choose Cone car will be Jacob Gladelick. I think they're still in cahoots of where that Choose Cone car is going to be. Hopefully nobody catches it this time. But 100-degree track temperature, that's going to be fantastic. I still want to circle that 12 miles an hour wind. That might catch a couple of guys off guard depending on which turn it catches them. So this is going to be really up to the rest of the drivers out here, how they're going to handle themselves, as a couple of them are finishing up their last qualifying laps. Vincent Arthur's just got a couple more turns, and he'll be finished up here. Josh Conover and Brady Moats as well. So all 3 of those Chevrolets just about to finish up there. Dylan Banks, he finished out in 19th. And Adam Kulikowski looks like he's going to be starting in that 25th spot. So it looks like we are still waiting on the 45 Toyota to get on through. Nice, easy move. And Christian, as we take a look at the 45 Adam Kulikowski here, I mean, is there any kind of critiquing we can do from our area? I mean, is he moving pretty smooth? Does it seem a little blocky, or is it just a little more cautious out there?
Yeah, I think he's just being cautious right now, just trying to learn the track more. I talked to him before the race because he's one of my drivers. I told him, just be smooth and easy and try to finish the race in one piece, and more than likely you'll come out of here with the top 20. So just giving him a little bit of advice here for tonight. He barely missed the playoffs. He was kind of bummed out about that, but he's hoping to rebound and maybe pull off a couple top 5s here within the playoffs and kind of be that upset guy.
Yeah, I would say Kulikowski does have a whole lot of, I wouldn't say wins though, but a lot of consistency. And I've seen the consistent guy make it to the end of the playoffs. It's just going to depend. Can you be consistent during that final race at Phoenix, where I swear I wonder how many people do decide to go out there and practice for Phoenix way before it's time to go to Phoenix to try to see if you can upset the sitting champ. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get to our starting grid here for tonight. We'll go ahead and let you take it after 12 here, Christian, as we get started on this one. Let's take a look. Jacob Malone starts in the number 1 spot, and Ryan Bird almost able to take it away. No can do. He'll be starting. Looks to be on the outside of row number 1. Everett Couch sits 3rd, and Ryan Patty, another playoff driver, sits 4th. Now let's go ahead and get the rest of the playoff drivers. The majority sits here with Josh Conover, Brady Moats, Vincent Arthur, and then we may move on to Nathan Brzezowski, looking to do a little bit of an upset here tonight, sitting 8th. Cameron Thompson, our 9th place driver, next to Tom Senchak. Senchak, boy, he's been a little bit of a hothead here lately, kind of getting bumped and banged around out there. And with a top 10, this should help him out. Brian Jones sits 11th, following that with Jake Christenberry starting in our 12th position.
Yeah, and 13th, we got Cody Smith, and to his outside, we got Nick Geilis in the 3. Dakota Moniz and Aaron Kralik behind them in 15th and 16th. Got Kyle Rochelle and Cody Height in 17th and 18th. Dylan Banks and Matthew George in row 10 there. Thomas Walter, Cody Eldred in 21st and 22nd. Tim Harper and Cody Reeder back there in 23rd and 24th as well. Adam Kulikowski, Kevin Gunther, Jacob Glalich, which is our choose cone car. So Zach Hollinger is going to be the one to round out the field here tonight.
All right, Zach Hollinger starting from the back. Unusual for him, seeing how he starts from the back, works his way to the front. Another one I like circling is Cody Reeder out there. He likes starting from the back, but from a road course, man, I really don't know if I'd really want to choose that kind of opportunity or give up that kind of opportunity. I'd want to be out on the track as soon as absolutely possible and up front, because there's no guarantee I can fight my way back up to the front. So we'll be under green here in just a moment as we follow behind the pace car. Jacob Malone and Ryan Bird will be taking this one off. And I would say, what kind of strategy, since you've raced out here and with these guys before, what kind of strategy do you bring to a track like this? I mean, is it send it, is it send it into turn 1, or we try to hang back and wait for the stage?
I think if you're one of the playoff contenders, you got to be aggressive pretty early and try to get into points paying position. Whenever that stage rolls around, you might see a couple guys maybe try to pit before the 2 to go mark to try to flip this the stage a little bit and restart first. But I think the strategy should be just stay out all of stage 1, and even at the break, stay out again, and not pit until the end of stage 2. But I don't know how important tires are going to be. They haven't been in the past for these cars at road courses. I believe last year Ryan Bird won a race without taking tires at all. From green to checkered, he was on the same set of tires. So we'll have to see how they do tire management with only 3 sets.
Yep. And here at Simtrax Broadcast, and we've been with a few other leagues, nobody takes tires, even during a pit stop. It's fuel and go and back out there. They said it's hard to build that heat back up into the tire, especially when the track starts getting a little bit rubbered up out there. All right, coming to the last couple of turns here. Guys making sure to scrub those tires to get them ready to go here. Pace car will be off, and we'll be waiting for Barney to kick this one off. Oddly enough, we'll be making our first right turn after the start-finish line here, so that is going to be a little bit tricky. Everybody has practiced this, and even from our angle, it's still weird being able to take this on. All righty, Jacob Malone, Ryan Bird getting ready to set this one off, and away we go. Here we go. Here's Jacob Malone getting a great start there. The key is Everett Couch not ramming him from behind here. Sitting up top as you see him dive into turn number 1. We get fully spread out. Already some trouble as it looks like Ryan Patty shuffles back. Everett Couch gets the worst of it as he drops down to 5th.
Yeah, it looked like Patty jumped to the outside there, went 3 wide, and now he's trying to get around Josh Conover here for 3rd place. Looks like he's going to tuck in line, though, coming out of the S's.
Conover wanted to make a move very quickly, up 2 already. He started from 5th to 3rd. Not bad for the McDonald's machine as he is still on a roll there.
Trouble.
Whoa, somebody slings off the track. Was that Moats?
That was Brady Moats. Yeah, lap 1 trouble for one of our playoff guys, and he's got some front end damage there.
Boy, he's going to be suffering a lot from that. We'll take a quick peek at what shoves him off the track here as we follow along right behind. Oh, man, it looks like the 16 sends it into him here.
Man.
Yeah, it looks like Brian
He
Jones.
came from about 5 car lengths back there. Looks like he didn't set up his brakes properly. He just got into the corner a little too hard.
There you go. I would almost say that was a rear brake problem. No front brakes on that one. So unable to get all that momentum slowed down, and Brady Moats is going to pay for it on that one. No cautions here so far as we get under lap number 2 underway. And we dive back into turn number 1 pretty quick here. For the past lap. Yes, only about 1 minute and 25 seconds as they'll pick up another 12 to 14 seconds this lap as they look to floss around each other and get back up to the front. Biggest movers here so far. Tim Harper up 3. Kyle Rochelle up 4 to sit 13th. And those guys can't beat Zach Hollinger. Remember we said he was starting from the back? That gives him 5. He's up to 23rd. But man, oh man, has he got a sea of cars in front of him. And he's already fighting a little bit of disconnect issue as we can see that white car blinking in and out there. So hopefully McDonald's is able to scrub the lines. And speaking of scrubbing, Jake Christenberry goes ahead and greets the tires tonight. Left front side damaged.
Yeah, he had a little bit of an issue there on the long straight before the bus stop. And then as soon as he got out of the bus stop, another incident. So he's dealing with possibly a broken tire on that left front there.
Yeah, a lot of damage, and one thing you don't want to do is end up with any kind of aerodynamic damage at a place like this. It doesn't seem that critical because draft really doesn't seem to help much here, but it is going to help how the air hits those tires. Jake Christenberry on his way in, and that might be a meatball flag. He's down to get damage fixed already, and that is horrible for a guy that is underneath the cut line.
Yeah, that's almost going to put him in a must-win for Bristol, and that's hard going into Bristol with a must-win. That's a tough track.
Yep. I would definitely be excited to be heading to Bristol. I definitely like those short tracks. Tempers flare. Guys are hammering each other's doors. But here, this is you try to have it not a whole lot of follow the leader here, which, speaking of which, the lead has changed to Ryan Bird. Jacob Malone had a little fumble last lap, which he did lose the lead. And now he is just trying to hold on to his Ryan Patty. Ryan Patty is now passing him. So it looks like the 56 Geico machine trying to get the best of it. And wow, we are drifting here in the back. Everett Counts. Apparently he didn't get the memo that we're not supposed to be sliding around these turns. But what an excellent save by the number 1 Chevrolet. Sponsored by Haveling out there. And right now, great job. But he does drop him down 5 positions down to 8th. And he'll be following Tom Senchak into turn number 1.
Yeah, in that same corner, there was a little bit of contact between Malone and Patty. And now we see, I believe, Thompson get around there. Yeah, that was the 41 of Cameron Thompson get sideways, but he saved it. Maybe a little bit of damage to that right front, but not too much.
Boy, and really, and that was what I was asking before early in this race. If we are full sending it, the chances of getting damaged and getting banged up are pretty rough. But you do want to get up front, and you want to get up front quick. Another driver who definitely needs to get up front is going to be Cody Smith, currently sitting in 11th. Another driver as well as Kyle Rochelle. These two have actually banged doors a bunch there. Whoop, there's Rochelle. Lost him there for just a moment, but it looks like Cody Smith. But these two are going to be going at it, and I think Brzezowski's ended up in some trouble.
Yeah, the 22 goes around coming out of the carousel. If you get onto the gas just a little bit too early out of there, that's going to happen. And looks like there's no damage on the car, so I think he kept it off the wall.
All right, so number 22, Nathan Brzezowski, just looping it there. He is able to survive. Looks like they're saying there's a little trouble back there with Nick Gillis. Ooh, man, he's having some traction issues out of the number 3. So Nathan Brzezowski will take a little peek here and take a look what got him out of shape. Right there on the rumble strips. Just kind of tipped it on around. Not bad. Everybody just going ahead and getting on around him and working through. I got to say, you know, when you're out there on the track, best thing you can do is lock it down, and really the rest of the drivers appreciate that kind of driving. It lets me know where you're going. You know, you're trying to stop rather than continue fighting the car, and then sometimes you'll turn into another driver and ruin their race as well.
Yeah, holding the brakes when you go around is a big deal, and if you don't hold the brakes, like you said, it could take someone else out. And a lot of people will get really mad if you don't hold your brakes whenever you wreck.
Yeah, the '05 of Dakota Moniz looks like he cuts off a little bit of that bus stop there. Has to give up another position as he's ended up in some trouble here tonight. Boy, I'll tell you what, we are already getting a rack of cars ending up with nothing but trouble out there. I think Dylan Banks was another one of them, taking a peek back at Dylan Banks here, as I think he might have gotten in a little bit of a jam here heading into the bus stop, and that straightens him out.
Yeah, and the rule is if you miss the bus stop, you have to come to a complete stop before you're able to roll again, which he was able to do that, and I believe Jacob Malone in the pits with 69.
Yes, Jacob Malone actually working his way down into the pits. I don't know if something's off with this car, but he is making an unscheduled pit stop here.
It looks like there's a little bit of damage on the right front. Maybe something happened to Malone there.
Boy, that is not good here for Malone.
Yeah. Looks a little crushed in there on the right front, maybe from the contact that he had with Ryan Patty off of the next to last corner a couple laps ago. Might have knocked off his steering a little bit, decided to go in and get it fixed.
Yeah, well, go ahead and forfeit whatever you got coming up for this upcoming stage. He already has a win, so he should be good to go, and that shouldn't really be that much of an issue. But man, oh man, when you're driving, look right now, Ryan Bird out here all by himself, crossing the line here to get lap number 7 started, and then Ryan Patty back here about 4.5 seconds off. Man, when you're in a situation like this, is it possible to reach up there and catch the guy? Hoping he makes a mistake here?
That's basically all Ryan can do. Talking about Ryan Patty, not Ryan Bird there. But he's going to have to hope that Bird makes a mistake in order for him to get the win in the stage. But I don't know if you saw it there, but going in the middle of turn 1, his front brakes were bright red. So he's got a lot of front brake in that car. You see it right there going into the bus stop. They are bright red on the rotors.
Yeah, and that was my only concern, if there's going to be any sort of an issue for Ryan Patty, if their brake fade might be an idea. I have seen guys actually use a bit of a dial out there on their dashboard of their sim rig out there and actually move the rear brake bias back and then move it back to the front depending on which turns they're going into. Does take a heck of a lot more, working on it and kind of having a good feel for the car and knowing what you need to do around the turns and good calculation. But man, that just takes a lot of practice. And right now, Josh Conover up 2, sitting 3rd. Tom Senchak is up 6, sitting 4th. And Vincent Arthur up a couple here for the 5th spot. Everybody here so far in the top 5 has gained at least one position on the way up, as Everett Couts has fallen out. But Couts, another driver who had gotten out of some trouble. Brian Jones, who got out of some trouble, who sent Brady Moats off the reservation, has ended up in some trouble. Cameron Thompson, we saw him spin out a little bit, but he was able to save it. Nathan Brzezowski was another one. I believe he was back on lap 4, ended up in some trouble, and these guys are all sitting in the top 10.
And tell you what, Cody Smith sitting in 9th, that's pretty good for him considering he's outside looking in or close to being on the outside. And that's going to be 2 points for him if he's able to hold on to this position, and that'll help him drastically here for the playoffs.
Yeah, could definitely use it. I believe also that Cody Smith had been teetering in and out of not only the chase, but also out of penalties out there. He's been having a heck of a time. He says he's currently on probation. 1 race is remaining due to caused cautions. So he just needs to have a clean race. If it can have a clean race, no caused cautions, which this should be one, as it's extremely hard to get a caution at a track like this, and that Cody Smith can finally have the reins let loose when he heads into Bristol, where trouble can arise at around either turn, even the straightaways.
Yeah, I was taking a look at the stats before the race, and Cody Smith actually has the most incident points so far this season. So he's been in a lot of incidents, whether by his fault or just by happenstance of just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But he's had a rough season, so he's looking to try to turn that luck around in the playoffs.
Yep. So far, so good this race. He's up 4. Right now, his Toyota will be joined by Ryan Patty here in the top 10. Not too bad here Nathan Brzezowski teetering on the back. But take a look here as Cody Smith taking a look to the inside here of Brian Jones around the carousel. Not bad. Looks like he's got him here, but can the rotation out not get him caught? Perfect. Looks like Cody Smith is going to be able to make a full clear there. That moves him up to 8th, and next he'll have his sights set on Cameron Thompson as they head around the last couple of turns and the final turn coming up.
Yeah, you were saying earlier about passing zones, and you said carousel, not quite the place you want to pass, but Cody Smith did it almost to perfection there on Brian Jones. That was a great pass.
Yeah, Cody Smith looking to reel in. So far, he has been faster than Cameron Thompson at any point in the track, so this shouldn't be a problem, him catching Cameron Thompson in the 41 up front. Right now, he's been chasing him for quite a while now. Brian Jones was as well, but we were talking about Aaron Krolick. It looks like everything's A-OK. He's up 5 here on the night, but he is sitting 11th currently.
Yeah, it looks like the internet's a lot more stable than last week. I was in that race, and I saw him slipping through the fence a couple times and then coming back onto the track, so that was quite interesting to see.
All right, real quick, tell our viewers, when somebody is out there blinking, you can't see them, what does the car do in front of you?
It's terrifying. It's the worst thing. If you're driving and then the car just disappears in front of you, you have no idea where he's at. So you kind of like have to back up your line to try not to get into him, because if he reappears inside of you, I mean, your day's pretty much over. So it's the most terrifying thing whenever someone starts blinking out in front of you.
Yeah, I've even seen him shoot up the track, take off like a rocket ship. I've seen pieces fly off. I've seen him slam the wall. I've seen him face toward you and then be at a stop. And it makes you look crazy because you're the one out there wiggling because you're always playing wreck avoidance. And because iRacing has no idea where you are. But, man, this is this is a lot better for Krolick, and I'm sure everybody else out there is enjoying it as well. Alrighty, Ryan Bird coming around. Looks like the carousel out there as he'll be going ahead and finishing up lap number 11 on the 12, and I believe that should end us at our stage break here at here on lap 12. And right now, that is pretty close. Right now, that is the 49 machine out there, and I believe
he wants to lap Malone here before he can get to the line, but I don't think he's going to be able to get to it.
I was going to say, I thought that's Malone trying to scramble to get away. Right now, Malone with an extended time down in the pits, 42 seconds. I don't know if he ended up with a whole lot more problems out there. But normally here at a road course, we should have a caution flag out, but we're probably waiting for the top 10 cars to make it across the line. Whoa. Brzezowski looking pretty close there. Ooh, Brian Jones trying to snap it off that turn. He's got it at the line. Oh, my gosh.
It looks like the 22 Brzezowski just kind of touched the grass a little bit, got loose, and Brian Jones was able to take advantage of it and pass him right at the last second.
Awesome job here. All right, top 5 are all playoff drivers. Ryan Bird looking to be the next one in the aqua color. That way we know he moves on, so Bristol won't be that critical for him. We're going to see right now a couple of good things out there is taking a look at a lot of the penalties and guys who have been cleaning up lately. Nick Geilis, Brady Moach, and Jake Christenberry have all been released from their penalties here starting this week. That is fantastic. I would say any guys who have been falling off the track, that's going to be a good sign. As we take a look at the, hey, nice choose cone car. As he is working his way out of pits now. We'll go ahead and get lined up, and we'll see. All right, Season 1 champ here of NORA. How does this feel when you come away with the first stage win?
First stage win, that's pretty important there for Bird, especially for playoffs. I mean, that's 10 points, and I believe it's an extra point as well because you win the stage. So that's basically 11 points going into Bristol for him. And that one stage, that 1 point for the stage win, that carries on until Phoenix. So it's really important when it gets to the playoffs.
Man, yeah, and for our viewers out there, and just kind of for giggles, you're saying we take that until Phoenix. Phoenix still is a race of who finishes the highest during that race, correct?
Yeah, it goes until Phoenix, and then at Phoenix, all the drivers are on the same level, same points going in, and it's straight up. Whoever finishes the highest wins the championship. And uh, they, but I mean, to get there, this definitely helps Bird a lot.
Yeah, well, Bird finishing 22nd last race at Atlanta. He is desperately needing this win. Another driver as well as the driver sitting directly behind him of Ryan Patty. Ryan Patty finished 28th, 73 laps down. He did have 9 laps led, but still, I mean, your big names out there got a beating out there at Atlanta. Guys who finished 20th on back. I mean, your big names like Reeder, Bird, Conover, Kralik, Senchak, Patty. I mean, even Hoppy. Hoppy missed it. And Smith and Harville out there. I mean, right now, I mean, I think we were looking, it was 3/4 of the playoff drivers got smashed up in that race, and that's exactly what you like to see. You do like to see a little bit of change-ups here. I mean, I like seeing how Everett Coutts out here sitting currently in 6th, or Brzezowski, or even Brian Jones, non-playoff drivers out here racing and really tripping these playoff drivers up a little bit. They're really going to have to be on their game because these guys are even out here to race. They've got sponsors on the car. They got viewers out here watching them, and they are here to drive. They are here to win, and it doesn't matter whether they're in the playoffs or not. And definitely, I would even say, if I were not in the playoffs, I would want to come away with a win going, all right, see, this is why I should have been in the playoffs. And that definitely starts shaking the trees up a little bit. Looks like tire calls for some of the guys down there in pit. A little bit of a gutsy move here. It's pretty interesting to see. I would say, scratching my head a little bit at Aaron Kralik not coming in, though.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising to me for all the 4 tire calls. This is more common. I mean, they were only out there for 12 laps on these tires, so I think Kralik made the right decision and staying out here. He should be able to probably finish top 10 here in this stage, if I had to guess here.
All right, well, tires may not be the issue, but how about fuel? I think everybody's might be circling that one. Will he be able to make it to lap 24 before he needs to fill up?
That might be an issue. But I mean, if he pits before the end of stage, like if he goes about, let's say 6 laps and pits at about 20 or 21, he'll be able to have the lead for the start of the final stage. So this is a good strategy call, especially if he uses that and pits about 3 to go in the stage right before pits close. That would be a really good move there for Kralik.
Wow. Well, see, that's just another. That's why we got you up here, man. It definitely puts a good spin on pit strategy out there. I wasn't sure if he is able to. So what you're saying is each stage he'll be back in the lead because he won't pit.
Well, he'll pit under green here, more than likely in the middle of this stage, like with 3 to go in the stage. And then once the stage happens, he won't pit for that. And then for the final restart, or possibly the final restart if there are more cautions, he should be the leader as long as no one else does the same strategy. But for those watching the broadcast and watching what he's doing, they might try to copy that and pit with 3 to go in the stage and try to be in the lead for the final stage.
Alrighty. Looks like we are getting ready here for our fancy choose cone car. Let's see where he's chosen. Looks like he is choosing the straight.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh no.
Yeah. Right now, this might be. We'll see here. I think he's trying to find somewhere safe.
I think he's trying to stay out of these guys' ways. Oh, Reeder. All right, there you go.
Boy. Yeah.
I wish there was a count on how many times he's been hit this year.
Yeah. Yeah. We've recommended trying to put him in a safe spot, maybe find a square out there on the ground, or I even recommended trying to put him in a trophy truck. Pick something larger, because these guys picking that last second, that when we look back off the rear tailgate of that vehicle, it just shows there's so many guys just making last minute decisions. Normally you got, one outside, one inside, 2 inside, one back to the outside, and then somebody changes their mind and gets to wearing a little bit of a choose cone stripe there. All
Yeah, the
right,
choose
let's
cone
see.
is
Here we
tough
go.
because
God, look
you
at this
you
angle.
can't see. Look, oh,
There it
oh,
is.
there it is.
We've got a score.
Everett Counts is the one I believe that got him. Oh, we might not be done. Oh, all right, we're good. Oh, maybe not.
Everett counts. Look at
Oh no,
this.
Cameron too. That's a playoff driver that just got collected in that one.
So as Everett counts comes over top.
Yeah, you can't see him at all, and then he sees him last second, tries turning, can't do it, and then Cameron piles in. I was gonna say, like, whenever you're stuck in behind a car and you're doing the choose cone, if they're running right in the same line where that choose cone car is, and then they pull out last second, you have a split second to make a decision on left or right, and sometimes the brain doesn't work that quick, and you run right into them. But I believe we are back under green up front.
Alrighty. Get back up front as it looks like Counts is probably going to be rejoining down into pit road. Away we go. Kralik was up front. Ryan Bird going to try to take around the outside here as we head through the S turns. 49 makes a good clear. Ryan Patty looking to see if we can get around Kralik. Kralik getting up to speed now. Vincent Arthur passing his teammate and Josh Conover for fourth. Not bad as we see a few drivers slinging back to the inside. Here comes Patty looking to the inside of Kralik. Whoa! Patty, look out!
I was gonna say you got to be aggressive to get by Kralik, but he gets a little too aggressive there.
Oh my gosh!
Oh man,
that's no caution.
And this might be a caution.
There it is.
There it is.
I was gonna say we had when we came back onto the track from spinning out Ryan Patty, and it was a 3-car pileup because I think everybody thought he was merging in.
Yeah, in that spot, you kind of had to be aggressive because Kralik, you know that he's on older tires, and if Bird is able to pass him, which he was, he's your competition. You got to keep up with him. So Patty was trying to be a little aggressive, kind of hit the bump a little too hard, and almost went around, saved it. But a lot of damage for a lot of these cars. Tim Harper involved. I think Kevin Gunther also had damage there. And oh man, he just hit the wall again right there.
Well, there he is getting in the back of Cody Height, the 84. And that's the number 12 we see jamming up here.
Oh, he gets help right here.
Yeah, Thomas Walter gives him a little nudge. Check out the accordion in the back. 19 nails him. So Brady
got
Motes,
a little piece too.
Yep, Brady
Motes
Motes
Malone
nails.
too. Yep.
Good Lord. Malone's watching all this. Boy.
Oh, Matthew George. So that's 2, 3, 4 playoff guys involved in this one with a little bit of damage at least. And I think Gunther, what happened right here is he's got a broken left front. So when he's trying to catch up, coming in that final corner, the left front didn't want to turn and he went straight into the wall. That's unfortunate, and that might end his day.
Oh, look at that thing.
Oh, yeah, look at that. I tell you what, that is not comfortable if you have a lot of force feedback in your wheel. We'll see it here. He's coming right around this right-hand corner, and it just sails off. He's turning, and it just doesn't want to go. Ooh. Man, that's a hard hit.
Insult to injury there. Fortunately,
the Aaron Scream Machine car is not a dream.
Yeah, another driver who ended up getting caught up in that pileup there was Cameron Thompson. You saw the 41 having to switch it up and slow down. And try to
got
get
caught
out
up
of there.
in that choose cone incident too.
Right,
so
right. So back-to-back laps, he's been in some trouble out there. We will see. All right, well, now guys are pitting and coming down again. That looks like from 15th on back. Cody Reeder still working his way around. Ryan Patty leading the charge here with Cameron Thompson, Matthew George, Thomas Walter, Nick Geilis, Cody Eldred, Jake Christenberry, and Tim Harper all joining down here in the pits. Tire change.
Now, I'm not the greatest guy with strategy, but if I'm willing to guess, I'm guessing that everyone that came in this stop are all going to stay out for the stage 2 caution and try to restart up front for the final stage. I'm guessing that's their strategy, but not 100% sure on that one.
All right. Now,
Any bets on if it gets hit?
I would question placement here. As Drift King is out there, he waved at us out there in the chat, along out there with Jay. And right now, we're gonna see how they fare here. I don't know. I would almost recommend out of the carousel might be a better idea.
Honestly, it could have been, if you want the left side, just take cut the bus stop, and if you want the right side, go through the bus stop. Could have been a possible option as well.
Right.
I believe we got one more lap until the choose cone is in effect.
Yep. I tell you what they should come up with. They should come up with stickers, and you put it on the side of the choose cone car, and it's, maybe a race car with an X through it, something simple, of how many cars he's taken out. Being the choose cone.
Yeah, I got to talk to Jacob about that and tell him to put some X's on it.
Oh, man. Alrighty. Well, this race has only had one caused caution. We've seen plenty of trouble out there. One caused caution, one of them scheduled stage. And that last one kind of caught up a bunch of guys out there. Especially Kevin Gunther. I'm wondering if he is able to return or if he is taking it back to the garage here. And now I'm showing currently he's hanging out. I don't know if he's going to be coming back. So Adam Kulikowski does have a chance of picking up a position here, although he is a handful of laps down.
And it does look like Gunther is now out of the race. It just switched right there at the last second on the ticker to out.
Bummer. All right. And where is it? Oh, boy.
This could be a good location here. Oh, no, we're going to do it same place.
We're going to do it again. Oh, man. Suicide, baby. Suicide.
I think if you're in the betting world, I think it would be plus 200 for it to get hit here. I don't think it's going to get hit the second time, so.
Alrighty, here we go. Let's try it again. Man. And you wouldn't think it'd be that hard, but these guys are doing about 55, 60 miles an hour. Oh. It looks like everybody's giving it a wide berth this time. And
He made it.
Yeah, no second choices here at the end. A couple guys I think are still trying to make up a little bit of ground out there. With them being so far back, I think he's just going to go ahead and head on off.
Yeah, the rest of the guys will have to be at the tail end of the longest line, which I believe should be the left side. How about this? Vincent Arthur are going to be on the front row because Kralik chose the right. He chose behind Bird.
Yeah, it might be a good call heading into turn one. This might work out for him. We'll see how bad Bird checks up there. We are back under green to get lap number 20 underway. Only 4 laps before we get back under stage, though. Right now, I'm wondering if Kralik's idea of coming down into pit later, it might be scrubbed here. Right now, Vincent Arthur still holding a great outside line there. Right now, Kralik and Smith going at it. Trading a little paint there. It looks like Nathan Brzezowski taking a look on the outside as well. You see at the top of our screen is Josh Conover still fighting to stay inside the top 10, though. shooting on through. Wow, huge hop there by the 22 of Nathan Brzezowski. Trying to cut off as much of that turn as possible. It does set him up pretty well against Aaron Kralik, who's now starting to slide to the outside here of the carousel.
Yeah, you got to wonder if him losing these positions is because of the tires or because of just him not being too comfortable with Watkins Glen.
Yeah, agreed. I also wonder if any weight in the fuel tank would actually help with the way he races out there. If it's starting to get pretty empty, he isn't able to swing all that weight around he used to. So he might be fighting a little bit of downforce as well, which that's you know, playing with the gas pedal to make sure that thing's going to work. So Ryan Bird just narrowly getting away from Vincent Arthur here by about half a second. Vincent Arthur can make it up at any time out there. He has been quite quick here tonight. Looking to see if he can run down Ryan Bird, who's desperately looking for that win. Cody Smith, boy, would that be the upset here if the Home Depot car can come in clutch and end up winning this one. That would put Malone and Cody Smith into Bristol with a first-time bye, which would be huge out there for, especially for those two drivers. Nathan Brzezowski sits fourth, Kralik is fifth, Tom Senchak settles down into sixth. Josh Conover, he was sitting ninth when we talked about him earlier, now up to seventh with his Chevrolet, followed by a couple more with Dakota Moniz and Dylan Banks. Banks started way back in 19th, now ninth, and Brian Jones looks like he's going to have a mirror full of Kyle Rochelle there, as Rochelle slings a little bit off the track, and now he's starting to work here up to the front. Whoa, contact with Moats, and Moats now gets punted into the sand.
Yeah, this is the second time for Moats having some issues there. I don't know if maybe he was trying to get over to the left so that he could get behind the 16 and kind of give a little retaliation there, and didn't realize that he still had a car underneath him, but it kind of looked like he was trying to get to the 16's back bumper.
Well, that's no good. Well, I've been here at a couple recent leagues of some payback, and let me tell you, payback ends up in more punishment than it's worth.
Yeah, especially since he's on probation right now.
Yeah.
Or I believe it actually got lifted this week, so now he's like, you know what? I'll go back on it. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm going to go back out there and do it again. All right, let's check in on Kralik. No!
Oh, no.
Kralik
I think
goes
that was
out
Banks.
there, and I think Banks gets the worst of it. Malone works on around him. Malone now down up to 13th. Brian Jones working backwards as look at this gaggle of cars here.
Rochelle. Hard into the wall.
Oh, boy. Let's see if there's any damage to his machine out there. It looks like he's got a little nudge. And that's another thing to take into account when you're out here racing a road course, is how do you stop the bleeding? One bad turn leads to another bad decision, leads to bumping into somebody, and then you're into the wall.
Yeah, you heat up the tires even a little bit too much, and then the next like 7 corners are disasters for you. So you got to be real smooth if you make one little mistake and just try to gather that rhythm back, because Watkins Glen is definitely a rhythm track.
Yeah, speaking of smooth out there right now, Jay's out there trying to lay down some smooth jokes. He said he didn't know that Moats was a dirt racer.
Yeah, he was wheeling it out there in the dirt.
Yep, well, he's definitely flattening it out there. Fortunately, there are ridges in that dirt to slow him down before he makes contact with those tires. Man on the mission right now is Jacob Malone as he's starting to reel in the 84. Unsure if you guys are tuned in to Cody Heights YouTube out there off to the side of our broadcast, but you'll be able to sit along there with Cody Height during his YouTube stream. And right now, you're going to hear him cursing about the 69 to Jacob Malone. Won't get off of him here. So right now, he is still on the move. But right now, Christian, what I'm looking at here, buddy, Ryan Bird has yet to be able to break away from Vincent Arthur at all. Still holding about that half a second. But he does make a half a second gain right there in turn number 1. But
yeah, he just won the stage, and the caution's actually out. But I was looking at that. Vincent just kind of stayed about a half a second back from him and wasn't able to quite get there. And Bird, he sweeps the stages here.
30 laps left to go in this one. We still have pit stops that have to be underway. And God forbid another juice cone. Boy.
It looks like looks like no one took the 3 to go pit strategy call. So, but I'm still going to be interested to see like what Ryan Patty does and all the cars that pit with him. If he maybe stays out here, maybe takes 2 tires or fuel only to try to get that track position. So we got to see what the winning strategy is going to be here with this pit stop.
Also, it does help us answer the question if you can make it 24 laps. Kralik did make it, and he is still out there rolling around. So that is good to know that he is able to conserve fuel enough to make it, and it doesn't look like he's clutching at all to save fuel, so it's not like he's just kind of bubbling down at the bottom of the tank. Awesome.
Yeah, if you can make it, 24 or so, by the time they're done with pit stops, it'll be about 26, 27 to go in the race. So that's going to be close on fuel.
Yeah, close on fuel. Is it close and close enough? Because I think we had one caution to help us out there, and I would wonder, if Kralik still has fuel, could he do still that 3-lap deal? Does he go under green, and then 3 laps later, then pit, and then he'd have enough fuel while everybody else to pit at the end? I don't know.
Well, the opportunity the opportunity to pit under green before the stage is gone, but he could pit with the stage and then, like you said, 3 laps later, just top off on fuel just to be sure. But I don't know. If you're in the playoffs, I would say risk it and try to run it dry. Honestly, if you need the finishing position, go for it.
Yeah, I wonder where you can conserve on this track. Can you clutch it around the carousel? I don't know.
Well, if you think about it, what they could do is, instead of going down to second gear for some of the corners, just stay in third gear instead. That could help with a little bit of RPMs. Braking early for the corner and just rolling through the corners would work. You could maybe save about two entire laps here at Watkins Glen, but that's with max fuel savings. So, if they have enough fuel to make it, then it's going to be a dogfight at the end, but they may need to come down one more time just to top off, which a lot of cars are going to pit this time. I believe Cody Height, Malone are the only 2 that stayed out. Oh, now Banks as well.
Wow. So Height, Malone, Banks, and Thompson decide to stay out. Now, Cameron Thompson did pit on lap 17. So he came in a little bit earlier, especially when the spin out there with Kevin Gunther. And that was the I believe that was the first mashup out there.
Yeah, I think these guys are all going to have to pit one more time. I'm pretty sure, but what we could do, if you want, we could pull Cody Height up here and we could ask him ourselves and see if he's going to be able to make it on fuel and what he thinks the strategy call is going to be.
Yeah, that might be a good idea, and we'll see if we can grab a hold of Cody Height. Chris, go ahead and take it.
Hey, Cody, it's Christian up in the booth. You got us?
Hey, Christian, I got you.
Hey, we wanted to know, you're staying out here, you're leading this race now. What's the strategy call? Are you going to try to pit under green and one-stop this? Are you going to have enough fuel to make it without pitting? What's the strategy call here?
The strategy is definitely going to be to pit under green and then try to run some really fast laps with no traffic.
That's a pretty good strategy call, I would say. Everyone that pit there, are they going to be able to make it on fuel, or are they going to be real close?
I don't think they're going to be able to make it. It's like 30 laps to the end-ish. I don't think you can get that far on gas.
All right, and have the tires been a big deal here tonight? Like, have you noticed that the tires, when they're fresh, are a little bit faster, or is the heat really helping the tires and not taking them?
They matter more than they have in the past. If you spin your rears and heat them up, then they get mad and they stay mad the whole run. So they're kind of actually worth something today as compared to normal road races where they're not really worth anything.
All right, and last thing, do you think you got what it takes to come out of here with a win and lock yourself in and not have to worry going into Bristol?
Well, Bristol's my home track, so I live about 20 minutes away from Bristol. I'd like to go there and not have to worry about anything. So we're gonna try our best. I'd wreck my grandma to win a race, you know.
Patrick, you got anything else to ask him here?
No, no. I guess I wouldn't want to be your grandma out there, man. All right, that should do it. All right, Cody Height, good luck to you, man, and hopefully we'll see that Sunny D Chevrolet come here somewhere in the top 5.
All right, thanks, boys. Appreciate it. Hope y'all have a good one.
Oh, you too. All right, let's put him back down, flat line where he belongs. Down there with Brady Most, Vincent Arthur, Cameron Thompson, Josh Conover, Dylan Banks, and Matthew George. All right, that's going to get us ready to go here. I see the pace car lights are out. That means the dreaded choose cone car will return back to the track here. And then we'll give us a decent run through of our top 10. All right, now that can still switch up. I do want to tip my hat out there to Ryan Patty for fighting all the way back up here to 7th. It does look like fuel and go for most drivers, though. Vincent Arthur took 4. Senchak, Conover, Brian Jones, and Aaron Krolick all took 4 tires. But we had some guys only take fuel. Nathan Brzezowski, Ryan Patty, Dakota Moniz. These guys all took fuel. So they're deciding to opt to go ahead and stay on the older tires. And choose cone time.
Looking smooth so far. He's going to get away clean again.
Every once in a while. Blows my mind, man. All right. Let's get back up front here. So our front 4 drivers. Last pit on lap 13. Cameron Thompson pit on 17. The rest of the field pit on lap 25. So these guys may be trying to cut this race in half. Maybe pit around lap 35 and then try to run it to the end.
Yeah, Banks was trying to warm up his tires, almost hit the wall there while he was warming them up. Luckily, he kept it off of it here.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead and get this one ready to go again. Cody Height, we're pretty excited here. Going to hit that Geico restart zone, and we'll be at it. Boy, he gets on it quick. Right off the bat, Dylan Banks. That now ties these two up here in the front for 17 positions gained for the Chevrolets. Oh, dog! Dylan Banks gets
we
it
got
here.
a big one.
Look out.
Bird involved.
We are still
man.
spinning out here.
Cameron Thompson, Vincent Arthur, Ryan Bird, 3 playoff guys involved in this one. Moniz, too.
Holy cow.
I think it's going to be easier to count who wasn't involved in this one.
Yeah. Ones that are being highlighted. Cameron Thompson, Ryan Bird, Dakota Moniz, Vincent Arthur, Thomas Walter, Nathan Brzezowski. And this one, they're going to point their fingers here at the 69 machine, who regains right front damage, as it looked like he tried to squeeze down Dylan Banks off the track, and the accordion began. Let's take another look at it top side. This is right at the green flag, so maybe we can see a little bit of what happened before, what got up to this point. Start finish. There's height. Banks rotates up. Banks is locked up. Banks was smoking into the turn. We are 3 wide.
Oh, man. Bird got up in the air there. Luckily, he didn't go the whole way over. He's probably still going to be able to run, but yeah, it looks like he just kind of got in there a little hot and then tried locking it up. And at the same time, it looked like Malone started coming down as well, and they just met in the middle. And then everyone kind of went their own separate ways trying to avoid it. I think it looks like Cameron Thompson maybe got loose or got some help from Ryan Bird, and that's kind of what set that off there. But Vincent, not too much damage for him. We'll have to see how Cameron and Ryan Bird fare, but I think those are the only 3 playoff guys involved in this one.
Yeah, I think it's just a heartbreaker here as I'm looking at how Dylan Banks is heading into this turn, and it looks like his car just doesn't hook. So, yeah, it's going to be the both of them. They may not say this is a cause caution, but Malone, look at that swing down he makes, though. Heading into this turn right there. Clink.
Yeah, and then watch coming off the corner there. Patty gets into the 41 right there, maybe net coated him, and then that stacks that up. Bird gets into Patty, and then it stacks up behind them as well. Oh, Kristen Berry and Reeder getting right through it. Brady Motes. Oh, he barely touches the 5. So Matthew George also involved in it. Another playoff guy, Kralik, Motes. I think that's 8 that I counted. 8 playoff guys.
Wow. This would be a good chance to try to ride with somebody who survived. So we sit in here with Brady Motes.
Ooh. The seas parted at the last second there for him.
Boy.
Only 5 cars stayed out on the track there. Everyone else went to the pits.
Yeah, Height Malone and Dylan Banks. Boy, these two have a chance of starting in front of next to each other again. And going at it.
You know, this kind of hurts Cody Height, though, because now all the cars that pit on that last stage caution, they can save fuel under this caution, and they might be able to make it now to the end of this race.
Boy, yeah, you're right. Definitely
I think
right
those drivers were, Banks, Conover, and Kralik that all pit the last stage caution that are still out there?
Yes.
Yeah, and all these guys that are in the pits now, they're topping off, and they should be able to make it to the end because we see 25 to go, and we know Kralik made it 24.
Yep. So Height and Malone 13, and Banks as well. That leaves us with Josh Conover and Aaron Kralik pitting on 25. Everyone else 29. Looks like fueling goes for some. Brady Motes being one of them. We were talking about how he was able to saw through. That'll get him back up to his original qualifying position of 6th. Cody Reeder started way back. He's up 17 positions now, hanging out in that 7th spot with his Ford. Boy.
Oh, he's going to come in and top off.
Yes, I'm wondering if this is that insurance plan you were talking about, being 100% sure I'm going to make it.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't hurt. He's not in the playoffs, so he's only here for a win. So this guarantees that he has enough fuel to potentially win. So it's a smart call for him.
All right. Cody Reeder, the fuel calculator, getting back out there for the Venku team. See how this fares. So this race has been full of mishaps out there. Guys dooring each other, some slinging into the dirt, some hitting the choose cones, some hitting the wall, some locking them up into the turn, some cutting others off. There's been a lot of stuff happening at this track, especially only for 54 laps here. This has been wild.
Yeah, we've had a little bit of everything so far. I mean, we even had a car get airborne there a little bit in that last wreck. So I think we checked everything off so far.
Yeah, well, this is the kind of racing or the mishaps I would expect at Bristol. Somebody dropping off the apron a little bit, riding back up the track and getting caught. But nope, that's happening here at Watkins Glen. Choose cone time. Here we go. Making it. Double back there on that one. There we go. Boy, is that Vincent Arthur? Good Lord, starting back in 20th?
Yeah, he's got a good bit of damage from that wreck. I thought it wasn't too much, but these cars, you barely tap something, and you got about 5 minutes of damage.
Which is really weird, because if you end up going to a super speedway, you see guys scrub along the wall, and it doesn't seem to affect them as much. Tell me where you see a safer barrier wall here.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's we got some post
oh no
caution activity. Ryan Bird just wrecked Moniz. May delay the caution, and I believe they did not. We're green.
Whoa.
Oh, big stack up here. Whoa.
Who is that?
Brian Jones.
3 wide.
Oh no, Kralik around, and we're going to have another caution maybe. They all saved it.
Yep.
But my goodness, Brian Jones came from about 8 rows deep, and now he's in 4th place.
Give it to him for the gutsy call. Now he's all over Josh Conover here. Right now, Conover trying to get away here before something happens, because it's getting crazy out here. Through the bus stop, Brian Jones, another driver of the Venku team out there.
Conover and Jones have been battling for years in the Truck Series for championships back and forth, and Josh came up to the Cup Series, thought he got away from Jones, and now he's right back on his bumper here in the Cup Series.
Welcome back. Kind of cool, almost has a Smithfield paint scheme there on the back. All right. Right now, Jay out there saying, seriously, Malone? Yeah, Malone up into the lead. So he is out front. Right now,
how about Brady Motes? Up to 5th after wrecking, I believe, twice today.
Yep.
Yeah, he was drifting through the dirt. He wrecked on lap 1 in the bus stop as well. Then he was involved in that last pileup, still chugging along in 5th place there.
That just makes you not want to quit. But boy, wouldn't that be something Malone were able to take away the win here.
Something else interesting. That 16 is the one that sent him the first lap, and he's right behind him now.
We'll see if he can hold on now. So Malone, Banks, Conover, and Brian Jones, followed by Brady Motes here for the top 5. Cody Height, Ryan Patty, and Ryan Burr, they finally settled down into their respective positions. That'll be 6th and 8th. Nick Giles, high so far him for a high for him tonight. Boy, try to say that's fast. That didn't work. Nick Giles sitting 9th, and Aaron Kralik back up to 10th. Now Kralik last pit on lap 25, so he's really got to be careful here, as we got 21 laps left to go. I do want to take a peek here at what happened to Dakota Moniz here at this run. This is before the green flag comes out.
Yo. Looks like he was just checking up for Vincent, and Ryan Bird didn't get the message and kind of got him in the back bumper. But speaking of Bird, him being involved in that little bit of contact, he's up to 8th. He's only, I think, 5.5 seconds back from the lead. He's clearly been one of the best cars here tonight. Does he have enough time with 21 to go to run down that 6-second gap and take the lead off of Malone?
Yeah. Right now, even out there in the chat, looks like Jay doesn't seem too happy with the way Malone's driving out there against his driver, Cody Height. Height has now gotten up to 6th, so the Sunny D machine continues his charge up to the front. And like he said, he would wreck anybody to get up to the front. And doesn't seem to be happening as well as he had hoped. Let's take a peek back here right after green flag. There's some trouble back here with Cody Eldred. Looking to see, whoa, man, something happened. Ready, clink. Here with the 50.
It almost looked like his tire locked up and he just couldn't turn, kind of like what happened to Kevin Gunther earlier.
Yep. And then right after that, or before that, here's Cody Smith, who needed a stellar finish tonight. And that, unfortunately, is going to definitely calm him down and place him well into the 22nd position. 20 laps left to go here. Drivers coming back down pit road. Cameron Thompson being one of them. Nick Giles, I believe, is the other, as he's working his way out. And Cody Smith actually heading down pit.
Yeah, so I'm guessing these drivers are thinking that they can get 20 laps on fuel. The only reason that maybe Kralik was able to make it 24 was due to those 2 cautions. So I think 20 is about the run that they're going to be able to get on fuel. So maybe it might be a situation where everyone has to pit at least one more time.
That's gonna be super tight right now. Jacob Malone is one of the drivers that came in on lap 13. So he is going to need to pit sooner than later here, I would assume, because he is not going to make it on fuel. He might be trying to put distance on the rest of the field, though, try to run it out as much as he can, or out as far as he can. That is second place sitting right behind him, Josh Conover, finally coming up. About 4.5 seconds back.
What a move on Banks. I think Banks maybe just let him by there, but Moats gets by him. Oh, Josh Conover doing some lawn mowing there in the bus stop.
That he is. Look like Conover has been able to make a little bit of a breakaway there from Brian Jones. And his kamikaze move into turn 1. Looks like Height and Patty are about to go at it here. Patty taking a look to the inside. No can do. 56 back to the drawing board. Ooh,
yeah, he's going to try to get onto the outside of him here and cross him over. And now he's going to have the inside into turn 1 unless Cody blocks him. But he won't, so now Patty has the preferred line here entering turn 1. And he'll get by Cody Height, who's going to try to cross him over, but not going to have enough momentum off the corner there.
And great job there by Ryan Patty. Picking up a couple of positions there, 3 to be exact, as Malone and Banks came in. And he passed Height, so 3 for 1 lap, not bad. Still chugging on along. Josh Conover last pit on 25, Moats last pit on 29. Brian Jones and Ryan Patty came in on 30. So right now I'm wondering if a driver like Jacob Malone has kind of dug his grave here, and he will be unable to recover from this pit strategy. This now takes him from the lead to 15th.
You just got to think, is it possible that Patty and Jones have enough fuel, or will they have to stop with maybe like 2 to go in the race and have to fill up? They should be saving fuel right now, but they're running some fast laps out there, so I don't think they're saving it all.
No, not at all. Moats and Height coming in.
All right, so everything that I've said about fuel, I think we're nowhere near good enough on fuel, and everyone will have to come in at some point.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we were factoring in some of those caution laps out there. And I think that
I think that's the case, yeah.
Right, maybe that's where we're getting tripped up a little bit here. So is it possible that Brian Jones and Ryan Patty may still have to pit? I mean, because at this point, it's looking like Conover may have to pit, seeing he came in on 25. Jones and Patty came in on 30. Boy, it's going to be close, though. If not, you stay out and continue chugging away and putting more laps away. You pit early. I mean, and right now, a lot of guys that we see are pitting are oddly enough taking tires under green.
Yeah, that's kind of puzzling. Yeah, if I'm a playoff driver, I'm taking no tires. I'm taking a little tiny bit of fuel. And that's it. Like, if I'm Rochelle or Christenberry back there, that's all I'm doing. I'm taking fuel only, and I'm trying to get the win that way.
Yeah, speaking of the win, battle for the lead underway. That is Ryan Patty sneaking on by, getting back up to the front, and there he goes. So good pass there on Brian Jones. Jones will be looking to run him back down, though. Aaron Krolick returning back to podium positions as he sits third, but he's sitting about a light year off here. Another 7 seconds back is where we find him. Kyle Rochelle desperately needing a solid finish here. Last time pit on 29, and Thomas Walter is sitting 5th. Fortunately, we are led by a Toyota with a Ford behind him and 3 Chevrolets following them in the top 5. So a little bit of every car, make, and model out there getting a chance up in the front. So right now, all 3 makes have made the lead up here tonight. But right now, Jones is still hanging on within half a second of Ryan Patty, and his amazing drive here so far. Kristen Berry, who's begging for a good finish, right now currently sitting 6th. This will help him, but I believe he was hurting pretty bad there during the stage. Nathan Brzezowski, Cody Eldred, Josh Conover after his pit stop on 38. That should be it to make it to the end for him, and Brady Moats rounding out our top 10. Quick little shuffle up here as it looks like Jones, Krolick, and Rochelle heading on in.
Yeah, for those who have already pit, I believe Conover is the one leading that field of people who have come down and chosen to pit after this stage started.
Yes, and with an excellent pit stop of a 5.78. 3/10 faster than his counterpart of Brady Moats. Look how he's going up into the rest of that field here. Looks like he's going to floss around Senchak. Senchak on the inside, and Conover goes ahead and works his way on around. Looks like Moats is having to slide in between the two of them here for the S-turns.
Yeah, you can see Eldred got out of the way of Moats, very respectful there. He pulled over to the right and let him by there in the S's, because you do not want to be too wide with a lap car in the S's.
No, definitely not without getting the one-handed salute on the way by. He's not going to really appreciate that. Still, especially when they're on a roll, the time is of the essence. Jacob Malone's now up to 8th. You see him creeping into the screen, following behind the ever-so-fast Ryan Bird out there. Bird off the track. Malone trying to cut it off just a little more. And right now, all over him is Malone. So Malone getting super close here. It looks like he wants to make a little sneak move right along the side. Get along here with Jacob Malone right off the front bumper there. And it looks like Ryan Bird cut him off there just a hair. Walter and Christenberry on the way in. Boy, that's going to move Malone and all our playoff drivers. All playoff drivers in the top 5 again. Conover looking for a win here, as Ryan Patty might not have enough. Pit on 30.
You know, I didn't get a chance to talk to Patty before the race. He's another one of the drivers from my team, and I don't know what his strategy is here. I didn't get a chance to talk it over before the race, but I think he's going to have to pit, and with 26 seconds, you're going to have to take fuel only if you're going to have even a relatively small chance. But luckily for him, he should only have to take maybe like a 3 to 4 second stop, just a splash and go. So maybe he's banking on the fact that he can get real hard into the pits, stay in there for only 3 seconds, and maybe be able to come out in front of Conover.
Yeah, Patty, last time he's been out, he is 26 seconds ahead. His last pit lane time was 35.8, and that was a 4.72 pit stop time. So I don't know if him slinging in and then right back out is a possibility with the amount of time. So we're looking at possibly somewhere about 36 seconds is where that would put him. So it may put him in front of Gillis when he comes back.
Yeah, that's gonna leave Conover out here for, I believe, like a 1.5 lead over, I believe teammate Brady Moats. I believe he's racing on Dark Star Garage now in that 42. Usually he runs on Flatline, but I think this season he's running for Dark Star, which is owned by Brady.
Really?
I do believe that's how they have that set up.
All right. See if we can find some guys trying to kill each other out there.
I tell you what, Malone's trying to kill his tires to try to catch up to Bird.
Yeah, and he's got it to the floor. And he better, because he's the only driver who decided to take tires on that last pit. Dylan Banks did as well, but he's back in 13th.
I think Malone right now is going duck hunting.
All right, here we go to the inside. Wow, give him a nudge.
A little contact, yeah.
Yeah, that right front damage is starting to hurt Malone a little bit here. Like he'd like to have a little less drag on the front of that car. He is trying everything he can to figure out how to get around him here. Boy, just talk about pit strategy, changing the race though. Yeah, it's close to the wall.
Yeah, road courses always have that strategy factor, and this one did not disappoint at all.
Yep, 11 laps left to go as Ryan Patty crosses the line yet again. Whoa, little slip up there by Bird. That's exactly what Malone was looking for.
Bird kind of stayed in the middle of the track. Malone easily going to pass Bird, going to cross him over. Not able to. Malone into third, or into fourth.
Yeah, not bad here. Ryan Bird looked like he was getting ready to push him through the turn. See if he can speed him up a little bit. A little tire smoke out there on the track. A couple of drivers giving a little extra out there, trying to get a little more. Right now, Conover has been able to shave off about 2 seconds here over the past couple of laps on Ryan Patty. Is Ryan Patty fuel conserving? That would be the big question right now. Let's see if we can sit inside. See what he's doing. Boy, could that be the upset? If he came in on 30 and he's able to make it to 54, that gives him a 24-lap berth. Nothing changing yet. Looks like Ryan Patty's still to the floor out there. Not giving up an inch. Let's see how Gillis is doing out there. I think Gillis has been chasing behind Brian Jones here for a good bit. Brian Jones leading the way in 7th.
This is one of the best road course races I've seen for Gillis in a long time. So him running in the top 10, that's pretty impressive there out of the 3-car.
I think Gillis has a chance of actually making some good races out here. He just keeps getting caught in the wrong spot. Gets caught there in the back 20 and then gets nailed. Or checks up for the wreck and then gets rear-ended. So Gillis just having some unfortunate events. A little tire lockup right there from the right front. Not quite enough there for the turn. He may pay for that later in the tire wear section. 24.5 seconds ahead is Ryan Patty from Conover. Not bad here. Right now, Ryan Patty could definitely use a win before he heads into Bristol. I know Jacob Malone says he was not confident winning this race nor Bristol. So Atlanta was the best choice for him to come away with a win. And it's really tough to see. You know, you remain impartial up here in the booth, but you look at a lot of the drivers out here, and you're just like, man, I'd like to see this guy get a win. I'd like to see this guy get a win. So not only, you know, if the driver out there doesn't get a win, but then if they're eliminated, you know, you almost feel a part of you get torn away going, man, he was such a great driver. Just the beginning of these playoffs just didn't work out for him.
Yeah, being here for 5 years, I got quite a few friends in this league, and I have to be impartial and not pick any favorites. You know, I got my driver up front, so obviously I want him to win, but Conover and me have been friends for about 7 years, so I would like to see him win. You know, it's kind of a thing of it's NORA really is like a big friend group, honestly. Just sometimes we have a little spats between drivers, but for the most part, we're all friends out here.
Yeah, and it's just so tough. You know what I mean? It's just you think about a guy who's deserving, saying, man, this guy, or you know, this guy's earned it. He's paid his dues. He's come out here. He's increased. He's gotten better each and every year and each and every season, and then gets eliminated, you know, or something like that. Oh, big change up here. Ryan Patty heading on down into pit. That's going to put Conover into the lead here as he comes around the final 2 turns before he crosses the line. This is going to make up huge amounts of ground, leaving Conover and Malone possibly to duke it out here at the end. Malone passed Brady Motes not but a lap or so ago, and he's going to have it. Doesn't look like a caution's going to come out as Thomas Walter and Cody Reeder have gotten into it here in the backfield. We'll see what happened out here. Looks like Thomas Walter, whoa, and just loops it on around there.
Yeah, that's a good save there, not to get into the wall and not to cause any damage to any other driver. That was a really impressive save there by Walter.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Unfortunately, Walter, he is still currently on the lead lap, though. So I'm wondering what quite got Cody Reeder out there. Says he's crashed as well, but I wouldn't think so. Let's take a look. This is a different spot to the bus stop. A little nudge there.
Oh,
yep,
man.
There it is. Ouch. And that probably, I think, is the right front broken on that one.
I think that's the right front, the radiator. That's a couple things. Surprisingly, he's able to drive it away. That's, I guess, because it was a tire barrier and not the metal walls. If he would have hit that, I think it would have absolutely punctured the radiator. But you can see, either way, he's in pit road with a lot of damage.
Yep. Yeah, this is really going to hurt. And I would say even, I think the worst part about iRacing is the wreck looks worse. And the bumper and the hood will tear off, and the you'll see the tires break, and all of a sudden they'll kind of, it wasn't maybe that hard, and it kind of puts the car back together slowly. Just a little bit unfortunate. I wish the damage had kind of stayed. But speaking of staying, Conover staying in the lead here, but Malone is quickly reeling him in. It took off about another half a second here or so, and Malone's tires last put on at 36, and Conover's been putting fuel only. So could this be Malone having the winning strategy here, as he is now taking off another quarter of a second since the end of the bus stop to this turn? So not bad, as Malone is looking to find all those soft spots out there and seeing if he can run him down.
Yeah, he gained another about 0.15 on him there in the straightaway, and now 0.2 in that corner alone. So Conover's going to have to do a lot of defensive driving to block Malone here, maybe, or he might just let him by and be okay with second. Not sure what his strategy is going to be when Malone gets to him, but it is no longer a question on if, it's when.
Yeah, but you hate to see that, especially for Josh Conover. Right now, he would like the win in you're in, and instead of Jacob Malone going back-to-back wins here in the first round, that would definitely take the wind out of anybody's sails out there, as normally you would think 3 guys winning in, and then the rest go to playoff points. But one guy, Malone taking a look way to the outside. Yes, trying to carry as much speed as he can. Wow.
Well, that answered my question. Conover blocked him to the left and then the whole way back over to the right, so he double blocked him, but Malone dives it in. Not able to get to him quite yet there. Conover going to lead this lap.
Holy cow. Now this isn't going to end, and right now those laps are going to get longer and longer here for Conover. Look at Malone try to slice there to the inside. Good move.
Conover, he gets into the corner easier and kind of brakes earlier. That way he can have the momentum on the exit of the corners. Whereas Malone, he drives it in very deep into the corners and doesn't have that drive off. So if Malone's going to get him, he's going to have to drive it in deep and kind of use Conover up. And that's probably going to be the only way he's going to be able to get by him.
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to do it without contact. Malone taking a little more off the grass there. Look how he's on the rumble strips. He is not afraid right up against him. Wow. Yeah, Malone using every inch of this track. Especially fighting that dirty air, and he's doing a great job sticking with him here.
Oh, he locked it up. A little bit of a wheel hop, I think. I don't think he expected Conover to get onto the brakes as early as he did, and he stomped on the brakes and got sideways. That cost him a little bit of time, but he's still close enough to strike again.
Wow. 4 laps left to go. Still going for it. This will be where Malone gets right back in him. I'm just hoping he hasn't roasted the tires off here. Let's check back in on Ryan Patty. Patty now sitting 5th. As it says... Uh-oh. Gillis might have had a problem. Check in on Gillis here. Take a quick peek. Says he had some trouble back here on lap 48. As soon as we said he was doing a great job, whoop, loops it there.
Good save, kept it off of everything, and I think he kept his same position too. So.
Yep, and then Smith, oof, right there. It just goes to show you how throttle control comes into play.
Yeah, there's a bump right on the exit of that corner on the outside there. If you kind of like shift up at the same time that you go over the bump, it could really upset the cars. We got the battle for the lead heating up again. Malone caught back up to him. Let's see what he's able to do here in turn 1. He's probably going to try diving it in, if I would have to guess. He's going to look right.
Yep. but does he send it in? Yeah, good job. To me, it's a lot more discipline not to send it in when you know you got the speed. Malone all over him, though, here. Good Lord. I'll tell you what, I don't know about you guys, but I'd be on the edge of my seat. This is something right here. Malone coming back for this one. And these two rookies here in the Cup League going ahead and duking it out. 3 laps left to go. Once we complete the bus stop, that's halfway. And right now, everybody's getting real nervous as the 2 red and yellow cars are going at it. Look at that. Malone getting a fender in here. Ooh, backs it up. Conover squeaks out.
I think that Beaver wants a little bit of McDonald's. He's trying to get some food there.
Yeah. He's trying to get something going there. Is right now still shooting on by. Nathan Brzezowski now having some trouble there in the backfield.
And coming to 2 to go, you can see Malone, he is overdriving that car. The rear tires sliding each corner. Conover nice and steady, so he's got not as much heat in the tires as Malone, but I don't think it matters. The dedication that Malone has to just driving it hard and aggressively, he might be able to overcome it. Not this corner, though. He's going to slide on exit. And, oh, man, he almost went around.
Yeah, right now Malone almost needs to spend the rest of this lap just taking it easy and trying to get the heat back out of the tires, which is easier said than done. Right now, that does allow Conover to squeeze away by half a second. Does Jacob Malone have enough tire to run him down? Right now, if you want
a lot of time gained right there.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want a lesson in blocking, go ahead and sign up with NORA here. Josh Conover will tell you how to do it. Good Lord. This guy's everywhere.
Yeah, we need to get our phones out because this one's about to get good. Get the cameras ready.
Yep, as we are encroaching quickly on lap traffic here. We're going to be in a little bit of trouble. If I'm not mistaken, I think that is Cody Eldred we're catching up on.
It looks like Matthew George is well up ahead of them, but here they come out of the final corner, white flag.
Boy, right now Conover has a chance of jamming Malone up here, heading into turn 1. Let's see how it goes. Malone unable to rotate, still chasing. George, good job out of the way. Conover almost checking him up, almost going at it here. Through the S's, Malone taking a look, no can do. And for the first beginning here of the bus stop. Right now, this is where Malone has been able to capitalize here. There it is, slide to the outside, he's got him. Right now, can Conover hold it through the carousel? Conover rotating up into him, contact, pushing Malone back out of the way. Can Malone hold it here? He's got to be careful on the throttle as they shoot out. Right now, Malone's got him by only 3/4 of a car. The 69 Ford heading in to the final 2 turns. They are still door to door. Get a quick little crossover here by Josh Conover. Conover taking a look. No can do. Malone making a quick block as they head around through pit road. And Malone getting the acceleration and goes back-to-back Atlanta and Watkins Glen. He comes away with the win.
Man, what a move in the bus stop. Just all he needed was Conover to make one mistake. He dropped the tire off in the grass, and Malone took advantage of it and comes away with an amazing win.
Wow. Excellent race here. Waiting for our last driver from the top 10 to make it across the line. Fortunately, it's one of our guys who is under the cut line, Kyle Rochelle. He'll be finishing here in 10th. 8 of our top 10 drivers are playoff drivers. Jay out there saying even Jacob Malone doubted himself for any decent finish even here in this race. Wow, excellent job here.
Yeah, Malone, the past few races has really been kind of clicking him off good race after good race. And, you know, last season, a lot of people were unhappy with how he raced, and he kind of turned that around this year. And lowered the aggression a little bit. Still has that aggression, but it's a lot better than what it was last year, and it's good to see him out here winning races.
Attaboy. I was going to say, I was going to get into you a little bit saying, I don't know if the aggression's completely gone. There were a couple nudges out there that looked questionable. He had sent it to some of them, but man, oh man, great job here by Jacob Malone. Fantastic win here. This is really, I think he earned this one, and especially being able to run him down. It looked like his race was over after the right front damage to begin with. All right, we'll take a look at where all your favorite drivers ended up here for tonight. Jacob Malone, what a win. Coming from behind. All right, so the power of the Beaver Nuggets strike again. Excellent job here.
Yeah, all five of actually six, the first six drivers, all playoff guys. So really good points day for those guys.
Yeah, the heartbreaker here is also Cody Smith being down 7 and Jake Christenberry about 12th.
Yeah, and Matthew George finishing 23rd. That's more than likely going to put him in a must-win situation going into Bristol. Him and I believe Cameron Thompson might be in trouble at Bristol.
Yeah, but Vincent Arthur finishing 17th. Wow, I mean, that's unusual. We've seen this guy win, and this time it looks like it gets the better of him. All righty, everybody, hold on just a moment. We'll reel in our drivers here and see how they feel about Bristol next week. Alrighty, everybody. Bird is the word. Ryan Bird here, finishing in 3rd. Looks like the 49 Chevrolet had a fantastic run out here tonight. Started on the front row, but talk to me about how the rest of this race went for you.
Yeah, I mean, the first two stages couldn't have gone any better. Unfortunately, Jacob had issues by himself, but I think I had the pace to get around him naturally without that, and then just won the first two stages and then just got completely junked on the start of the last stage. That was pretty silly into turn 1. And managed to claw back up to 3rd, but man, I'm sweating my butt off.
Man, were we talking about jumping at the beginning? Were we talking about the 3 or 4 wide situation there with Brian Jones on the inside?
Oh God, I don't even know who. I know Ryan Patty, for some reason on the exit of 1, just kept driving through the 41 and it hooked him to the right. And then I wheel hopped him, and that was my chance for the win pretty much done right there. But that's all right. It happens.
Man, well, still, we ended up in a 3rd place finish. This is going to be definitely a good points night for you, so it won't really hinge that bad here coming into Bristol. I mean, you think we got a solid finish for Bristol coming up?
Oh, absolutely. I love that place. Hopefully the tires have some wear on them, and we can just be patient and move through the pack a little bit while these guys tear each other up.
Yeah, I am hoping it's not going to be a caution-filled race, because Bristol's one of my favorite tracks as well, and if there's one thing I love getting in that mixing bowl, and just waiting for a guy to make a mistake. You know, you pass this one on the outside, hang around for a little while, pass this one on the inside, then you get past. You know, it's a great track, and there's always action all over that track. You almost hold your breath at times just because of how fast and the moves that you need to make. But how does it compare to the race like tonight? I mean, is it just more about timing at this track, and the other one is just about picking your spot?
I think somehow it's easier to pass at Bristol these days than it is here. A lot of these guys at the front are so good, so fast. You really have to wait for them to make a mistake. Bristol, you can kind of goad them into burning their tires up if there's tire wear, or if there's not tire wear, then it's going to be a caution fest. But I hope that's not the case. But it's easier to pass at Bristol these days, I think, than it is at a road course, just because everybody's so fast here. I mean, we're all in qualifying, I don't know, less than a second apart on a 3-mile track or whatever. That's insane.
Yeah, that was extremely fast out there tonight, especially for the Glen. A lot of playoff drivers did get knocked out again and have some terrible finishing. I know, especially after your finish last time of 22nd in the last race, definitely a third works out very well for you. Ryan Bird, shout-out time.
Yeah, shout out to my teammates. We all worked really hard this week on trying to find some pace here. I think we showed that. I think we were the best team here, and it's not always the fastest people that win the race, as Connor Hall would say. I appreciate you guys for broadcasting. I know your buddy in the booth is back up there. Nice to hear his voice on the broadcast again. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
All right, Ryan Bird. Good luck to you, man, and hopefully Bristol turns out just as well as tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Alrighty, well, Bird's always after the food, so that moves us to Christian Snyder finding out where that McDonald's car is out there. Take it home.
Yeah, the McDonald's car coming in second place. Conover, that last lap, you had to run absolutely perfect, and you told me that you blinked out possibly there on that last lap, and that's what caused you to lose the lead. Tell us about that, and tell us about your race here tonight.
Well, I lost the lead just because I don't know. I blame the car, but it was driver error once again, and got him alongside of us. I think we were kind of just running hard. I know the second time I kind of pushed the issue and got into him, but I think the initial contact was just going for the same spot. And then, yeah, I backed the corner up. I actually just sent you a video if you have a sec to look at that. But I backed the corner up to get him behind him and just kind of try and get him up out of the main groove. And the second I got the contact on my screen, and he disappeared. Everybody disappeared, and I blinked out. And then he came back probably halfway down that little straightaway. And at that point, I would have had to completely just junk him to win it. And I'd rather not, penalize myself being the league owner and just settle for second, not the win and lock in, that I was hoping for at that point. But can't complain, I guess.
Yeah, I see it here. It was in the next to last corner. You just kind of lost the guy in front of you, and that's like you said, you never have internet issues, so that's surprising that happened. But I mean, you're going to come out of here with a lot of points, and you were kind of already comfortable coming into here. So I mean, it's not a lock in, but going into Bristol, you got to feel really comfortable about that.
Yeah, I had a good run. I guess a spring technically. I think we got involved in somebody else's mess, and then it killed our night. But typically have long run pace, which iRacing in Bristol doesn't necessarily happen all that often. But hopefully we're close enough, maybe like high 40, low 50 points or something to the cut, and after the first stage or something, we can be locked in and not really have to worry too much. Malone winning. I know him and I were just talking. He's literally right behind Vinny and I as far as playoff points for the next round already. So that's fun. It makes the next round more exciting looking ahead. But no, I mean, I didn't have winning pace at all. Bird should have walked the dog on all of us, but he got, I think, spun around or something earlier in the race and then just never really got back to the front. He would have drove away from everybody. But I was in the spot, and I felt like up until the last lap, and I think a couple laps before, I was realistically mistake-free and doing what I could. And then I pulled an SVG on the final lap and couldn't get back to him.
All right. Well, before we let you go here, man, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to and thank for the race tonight?
You for jumping in the booth. I know, like I was talking to Pat. Love having Stella. She's normally on top of her stuff and has a bunch of cool facts that I don't even know. But I know a couple of the guys were beyond ecstatic to have you back in the booth, and I know there's like more cautions than we normally have, but hopefully it was a good finish, and hopefully I put on a good show for you and everybody that ran. I think we had 27 cars still, which, you know, for a playoff race, being a road course too, end of the year, I'm ecstatic. Can't really complain about it. So yeah, hopefully it was a good show, everybody that watched, and yeah, just, like I said, hopefully it was a good show.
Yeah, it was definitely a great show, and again, congrats on second place finish, and good luck next week at Bristol.
Thank you, fellas.
All right, that's going to do it for us with Josh Conover, moving us on to our race winner. Here, some would say it may have been a little messy, but he was able to get it anyway. Talk to me about this, Jacob Malone. This race seemed to almost be all yours. You scored on the pole, but we had a little trouble about a third of the way in.
Yeah, stage one, I was kind of just pulling away, doing my thing, minding my own business, and I was struggling with this one corner. I was second to last corner basically throughout practice, throughout the just overall. I couldn't get my braking spot down, and so I overdrove it, got a bit loose, went into the wall, gave me 3 minutes of damage. Decided to pit so I can make it to the second stage, and then I was like, I have too much damage, so I just kept pitting at stages. I did a risky strategy, followed Cody for that final stage and where I stayed out. And that kind of put me in the lead, allowed me to lead a couple laps. I was kind of just putting down heaters, just trying to go fast. Came down pit road, took tires, and just it was pedal to the metal from the end. I was just trying to get to Josh, get to Ryan, all of them, just beat them.
Man, some would say there was a little bit of knocking around out there. Can you talk a little bit about maybe getting up next to the who is it? Cody Height. I think there was a little nudging out there with the Sunny D machine. I think when you were fighting from the back up to the front.
No, so I hit Cody. I turned down, he turned up. I don't really know. I haven't watched the replay. So, entering turn one on the on one of the restarts, we were starting on the front row, and I couldn't see. I think I came down on him, hurt him. Didn't mean to do it. I apologized. Overall, he was pretty chill about it. So, thankful for that, for him understanding it was a racing incident and I did not mean to come down like that.
Okay, yeah. And I knew there was a little nudge out there with Dylan Banks heading into turn one, but it almost looks like you made the cut. He locked him up, and the two of you guys met, and unfortunately that started a huge mess that went on there in the back. But let's stop talking about the wrecking and the crashing and things that had happened, but let's talk about these final 10 laps where you were running down Josh Conover here. How confident were you were going to come away with this?
I really wasn't. I was having some issues with my I ended up heating up my front tires pretty fast by locking them up a lot. Kind of made the car a bit tight, but I was able to get to him because he made a few mistakes in the chicane. He was not confident, and I kind of was like, come on, man, I made a few mistakes once I got up to him, almost went around a few times. And I just wanted to put pressure on him in the chicane and just see where he can make mistakes. And he made a mistake in the chicane, and I took advantage of it, and I just went right around the outside trying to hold on to it. That was a lot of fun, though. I'm not gonna lie. That was a lot of fun racing Josh with that. You don't really see road course racing that aggressive, especially coming to the end of the race. Felt like a little bit of the SVG and Chris Buescher moment we saw in the real life race.
Yeah, that was some out there, man. We noticed some of your times as well. You were super fast entering turn one. You were able to sling out of the S's a lot faster. It just seemed heat was everywhere out there. You just couldn't make the pass. But that we go 2 for 2. I hate to even ask your confidence level at Bristol. We talked about this. I talked about changing your seat height to see if that would help assist you. Is there any doubt in your mind there's a possibility of a 3 for 3?
It's Bristol, man. Aye. That track has not been kind to me. I mean, so last Bristol race, I was kind of midfield throughout the race, having some issues, and then I had one good long run, and then we had a restart, and I fell all the way back to 20th. Like I went from having a possibility to maybe get a top 5 to just absolutely dying. I don't know. Maybe all of a sudden I'll figure out the track, do good, but I have a feeling it'll be more like a Darlington situation, which we saw for the finale of the regular season, where I just kind of like, I was fast, I had my moments, but then I just faded at the end due to tires and stuff like that. That's what I'm probably gonna say might happen. Who knows? There could be some insane wrecks, and I could just go on through and go win the thing. But I'm looking forward to the next round. That's where my eyes are set. I just want to get to the championship 4, and in order to do that, I gotta get to the championship 8. I mean the round of 8.
All right. Well, go ahead and give me your shout outs and tell me about the power of the Beaver Nuggets.
Well, ever since I put on this paint scheme, man, we've been mighty fast. I want to shout out my parents for supporting me. My friend Chase Crawl for making this amazing paint scheme for me. I want to shout out you guys for streaming this lovely race, and Christian for subbing in for Stella. Sadly, she's not here to witness this greatness. Of course, I want to thank the guys at NORA who put these on every night, such as Josh and all of them. It's been a lot of fun, especially this whole season's been a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to the next round. Of course, next race is, but really the next round is what I'm looking forward to. I want to see what everyone can do and see who's the big championship threats.
All righty. Jacob Malone, congratulations on your win here at Watkins Glen. We'll see you at Bristol.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. All right, Christian, that's going to do it for us tonight. We head to the Mixing Bowl next week. Pretty exciting race. I'm excited to see how that one all fares and plays out here, especially toward the end. But man, Bristol's one of my favorite tracks, and I can say there's action around every corner. Long runs, it's 10 times easier to pass than on a restart. But nor here nor there. How excited are you for next week?
Oh, I'm pumped for it. I always love watching Bristol, never love racing it. The night before, I got the truck race, so I'm in the playoffs down there in the truck series. So I'm going to be coming off of either a really good race or a really bad race. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I can't wait. This was a lot of fun tonight.
All righty. Excellent race. All right, everybody. Appreciate you guys for joining us here at SimTrax Broadcasting, bringing you the National Oval Racing Association. Patrick and Christian here in the booth. We'll see all you guys here at the Mixing Bowl next week. Until then, be well, be safe, be kind. We'll see all you guys next time.